King Charles is set to resume some public duties this week as he undergoes cancer treatment. The palace said doctors are sufficiently pleased with the progress made so far on his treatment. This comes after Princess Kate revealed last month that she's also being treated for cancer. ABC News foreign correspondent James Longman has the latest.
King Charles is back. Buckingham Palace announcing that his cancer treatment is progressing well enough for him to return to public-facing duties. The 75-year-old has been working behind the scenes, but he's been rarely seen since February when he announced his diagnosis. The palace issuing a statement saying the king is now able to resume a number of public-facing duties. The king won't be returning to a full schedule, but he'll start his engagements tomorrow with a pertinent one. He and the Queen will visit a cancer centre, hoping to promote the importance of early diagnosis. And the palace is also announcing that the king will be hosting a state visit in June with the Emperor and Empress of Japan.
Now, I think the king really minded that during his period of intense cancer treatment that he wasn't able to do what actually he does best, which is to meet people, charm them, listen to them, and learn.
The king's return to public duties eases the pressure on the rest of the royals who've been stepping up since he stepped back. With the Princess of Wales also receiving treatment for cancer, her husband, Prince William, heir to the throne, has been holding the royal fort, supporting both his father and his wife as they go through treatment. Kate announcing her diagnosis and shocking the world in this video statement.
This, of course, came as a huge shock. And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
The princess will return to royal duties only when her doctors clear her to do so.
The United Kingdom has really wanted to give the Princess of Wales the chance to recover, repair, be with her children, and get back to the level of confidence and health that she will need to be effective in supporting the king.
ABC News foreign correspondent James Longman joins me now from Buckingham Palace with more. James, King Charles is set to visit a cancer center tomorrow to talk about early diagnosis. Is there any more info on the type of cancer he has, or that Kate has for that matter?
Diane, the short answer to that is no. They are keeping pretty silent on the details of both his cancer and Kate's cancer. What they are saying, though, and this is some good news, finally, after months of these multiple kind of stories that came out, one after the other, it felt like, finally the king is now going to be back at work publicly. I think it's important to say he's been working the whole time. There hasn't been a constitutional crisis. He's remained head of state throughout. William hasn't had to step up formally to become regent in his father's place. He's been meeting with dignitaries, replying to correspondence, but now he can get out and about doing the kinds of things that kings do, which is meeting members of the public. I think what this also does is it kind of relieves the pressure on other members of the royal family. You've seen Prince Edward, his wife Princess Sophie, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, Princess Anne. They've all had to kind of carry the mantle whilst Charles and Kate have been out of the picture, and William to some degree looking after Kate. So it looks a little bit more like business as usual, but the palace is not releasing details on his particular cancer. Perhaps when he's through his treatment we will get more information, and perhaps when Kate is back at work we'll get more information then. But for the moment this country is just wishing her well and hoping the king can go back into a full schedule as soon as possible. Diane?
And James, Prince Harry is returning to the UK next week for an Invictus Games event. Is there any sense of whether he'll see his dad on that trip?
Yeah, big question, Diane. I think, you know, Harry's been out of the headlines a little bit in this country for a while. But he did say, if you remember, he gave an interview to ABC News. Will Reeve met with him, and he said he wants to go back to the UK as much as possible. So there is a sense perhaps he might see his dad when he's here. He's coming for a commemoration event for the Invictus Games. That's the sporting event which he started, which is for injured military personnel. Feels very passionately about it. We know he's going to give a reading at the church service. We don't know if Meghan's going to be with him, but they are then scheduled to leave they're scheduled to be in Nigeria shortly after, where they're going to be meeting with military service personnel, cultural events, we understand. So it's possible that Meghan and Harry are both here, or just Harry on his own. But a lot of people want to know if the relationship is going to be mended at the top of the royal family. Are William and Harry going to start speaking again? Can they be together in the same room? And can Charles, now hopefully coming out of his cancer treatment, be the bridge that the brothers need? That is the speculation in the British press at the moment. Unfortunately, as ever with these royal issues, it remains speculation. But I think a lot of people hope that there might be the prospects of a mended relationship if Harry does repeat these trips back to the United Kingdom. Diane?
All right, ABC News foreign correspondent James Longman. Thanks, James.